Welcome to your practice for August 2018. This is the warm-up. And so the Kriya is called Sobha Kriya, and it's a Kriya for prosperity. And each of the gestures is kept for 3 minutes. And so if you were going to have your hands up here for 3 minutes, it deserves a lot of opening into the shoulders before we begin. So we really want to open the shoulders and connect those movements down into the base of the pelvis, because this is truly the home of your desire of power, of sensuality, of money and sex, and your relationship with what you want. So we need to connect all of those before we really get going into the full kundalininess of it. So we'll warm up now. 2 blocks, a blanket and a strap will get us there. Open your blanket into a large rectangle so that you have enough that you can lie down on. And then we'll start the playlist at endings, and start that now, and we'll lie down on your back. So the backs of your hips, the backs of your shoulders, and the back of your head are all padded by the blanket. Settling in. Take your palms open and set them on the thighs. Lift your heels to the height of your knees and lightly rest your thighs into your palms. Then take your right hand overhead and your right leg long, and then exhale, thigh to palm. Inhale, left hand open. Exhale, pause. And we're going to begin to move very simply right there. And as you bring your thigh to your palm, you can bend your elbows just a little bit to roll your tail a little off the floor and feel how your low belly is beginning to initiate and establish this movement. Inhale as you open, exhale as you close. Now you can be absolutely feather light in the connection between hand and thigh, or you can begin to press a little more clearly, but keep tipping the tail away from the floor. For 2, and for 1, each side. And then pause. So your feet are flexed, heels in line with knees, elbows lightly bent. Press your thighs into your palms. Press your palms into your thighs. Now peel your tail, your low back off the floor just a little bit, the very back edge of your hips, and press. Head and shoulders stay on the floor. Feel the low belly getting warmer, getting stronger. And then setting down, feet to the floor. Release your palms. Feel the low belly open. Give it some good deep breaths. Now cross your forearms, lift your feet again, and put your palms to your inner thighs. Flex your feet, press your inner thighs into your palms, press your palms into your thighs, and really find the resistance in the hands and the legs. Now tip your tail off the floor. Now tip your tail off the floor and stay 3. So there's a lift of the tail, the inner thighs pulling in, the hands pressing out, the feet flexed. 1 more. And then letting go. Just feeling the circulation through the pelvis beginning to wake up, increasing. Hold your shins. Point your toes. Hold the shins towards your body. Press your shins into your hands. And holding that, now roll your tail off the floor. Tip your tail, tip your pelvis. Draw the shins in, press the shins away, point your toes, and stay for 3. Using your hands, try to pull your thighs closer. With your hands, keep them lightly apart. And then straighten your legs towards the ceiling. Flex your feet, put your palms down under the back edge of your hips. Inhale as you open your feet, exhale, they cross to open and cross. Inhale and exhale. Really beginning to flex your feet and lengthen out your legs as straight as they can be. Crossing your thighs quite high up. So rather than just crossing the shins or the ankles, get the cross way up into the inner thighs. And then see if it can get a little lighter and a little quicker. As you go, try to tip the low edge of your tail off the floor, just as you did a moment ago. 3, 2, 1. Feet together. Bend your knees. Drop your heels to almost touch the floor and then inhale them back up. Exhaling down. Inhaling up. Each time you do, you're feeling your low belly gather toward the floor. You can stay right there, or for the last 4, you're welcome to straighten your legs out and down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. And inhale up. Bend your knees. Release your hands. Feet flat. So we'll come up onto the right forearm. Rise up. And put your right elbow under your shoulder. Right outer hip to the floor. Bend your left knee. You'll take your left knee to your right inner knee and then roll it open. Exhale, rolling it down, and inhale, rolling it open. And as you drop your knee towards the floor, see how high you can lift your left heel. You're really going into the rotation of your left hip. So how far open can you open it, and how far can you lift the left heel? Without using the chest and the shoulders. You're isolating it from the navel right into the hip. Good, good. 3, 2, and 1. Roll it open. And then change sides. So just roll belly down onto your left forearm. I'll swing around so you can see. Left forearm down. Left outer hip down. Right hand is support. Bend your right knee. Roll to the inner knee and tap, and roll open. And tap, and roll open. At first, these may feel a little ho-hum, but as you get stronger, you'll be able to rotate more fully through the thigh bone and into the hip socket, and that rotation will begin to grow. So you're not doing it from the shoulders by folding down. You're isolating the chest and letting your knee move. You're building the strength through the back of the hip and through the inner thigh, all the way into the inner workings of your pelvis. Go 2 and 1. Perfect. Hands and knees. Set a block out in front of you. Walk your seat back and fold. Deepening the crease of your hips. Now you'll rise up to hands and knees. I want you to swing your right knee out. Bend the knee and out. Just loosening the hip, finding neutral. Draw your right knee into your chest, pause, roll it wide open, keeping your knee bent, lift it up behind you, and bring it in. So you're drawing a great circle with your right knee. Exhale as it's into the chest, inhale as you're rolling open, and then pause at the center and reverse. Reach up, reach wide, and bring it in. Again, we want to just keep opening the range of what our hips are capable of. Draw it to your chest and take your right foot straight out of your right hip. So your right foot is flat on the floor. Find your fingertips and tuck your left toes under. And now you'll walk your seat back. You're stretching through the outer edge of the ankle, the outer edge of your right foot, right into the floor. And just move a little forward and a little back to make your way into the inner thigh, into the outer hip, all the way into the very flat sole of your right foot. And coming all the way up, you'll step your right foot outside of your right hand. Big bend in the right knee, coming down. So put a block under your left hand and take your right hand high. Bring the top of your left foot flat to the floor and let that release the left hip down. And now reach. That without any strain, the left shoulder comes under the right, the throat becomes long and soft. Pressing the top of the left foot down, you make space in the front of the left hip. Bending the right knee, you deepen the crease and you open from the belly to the heart. Keep your breath full and smooth. Keep reaching into your right hand. Keep reaching into your right hand. And then set it down to change. Hands and knees, back into your child if you choose. Right? And then we draw the left knee into the chest. I'll turn so you can see. Left knee in and back, in, out, in, out. Drawing the knee into your chest, circle it wide, take it up behind you, and then draw it in. Opening, lifting, drawing it in. We so rarely take the time to make this movement, and yet so much of our hip is in need of motion to stay active and healthy. Draw your knee to your chest and reverse back, wide and in. And circle through the whole of the hip, its range and its movement. Draw your knee to your chest, pause, and extend the left foot all the way out, left foot flat. So seal the outer edge of your left foot to the floor. Tuck your right toes under behind you, your fingertips, and set your seat back. And deepen the crease of the right hip. Take your weight a little to the right as you stand into the left foot, and a little forward and back. Keep putting weight down into the ball of the left foot, the heel of the left foot. And send the left hip back. Shoulders long. Perfect. And bring it all the way up. A little bit of a child's pose for a moment, just to even it out side to side. And then we'll rise up into the middle. You'll take one block between your heels, and you'll set the other block out to the left side. Okay? Just begin to open the shoulders in a great circle. Inhaling as you open. And sometimes we don't even realize, just as we may have uncovered some new territory in the hips, not even realizing how our shoulders hadn't found their full range of motion today. So you can stay with your hips seated on that block, or you're invited to lift your hips over your knees and come up and open. One hand behind your thigh so that you can start to open through the side of the rib, the side of the waist, all the way to the front of the hip, open through the belly. Close your eyes and just see where you can go, where it's needed, where it feels short, and how it changes your breath. Now the left big circle, take your left hand down to the block. Extend your right leg out and straight. Put your right foot flat to the floor, and now your right hand will make another circle. Take your right hand to your hip, and then down toward the floor, overhead and up and over. And the direction of this circle matters because you're rolling the ribs open. And then reverse, hand over head, tuck your chin, and reach up and open. We're going to go one more time. So that from your hip, overhead, now stay. Send your left hip forward. Turn your navel, turn your heart, your right palm facing the floor. Really stand in your right foot. Firm your back, your right glutes. And then bring it down. Sitting on the block, take your other block out to the right side and loosen those circles. That I can feel the difference between my right side and my left. My right side feels more active, feels three-dimensional. It feels awake in a way that I didn't know I was asleep. And then rise up on your shins, let it start to get bigger and bigger. Take it where it's needed, take it where it hasn't been, all the way into the spine and the breath. And then the right hand circles down to the block. The left foot extends, foot flat. Perfect. So you reach down, roll the ribs open, and sweep the left hand back towards your hip. Let it drop, let it roll open, and all the way through. You'll reverse that one more full circle, hand to your hip, and come back up overhead and roll it down. Turn from the seat through the heart to the hand last time, so that as your left hand comes over, you can stay. Send your right hip forward. Turn the pelvis, turn the heart, the left palm faces the floor, and press your left heel into the floor. Firm your left glute. Let your breathing be deep and smooth, nothing tight, nothing caught. And then sit it back down. Take your strap with you as you come to your seat. If you need 2 blocks to kneel, put 2 blocks under. And now you want that strap to be wide enough that you can come up and over your shoulders and round through the spine. So you have to choose a strap that's long enough to take you where you need to go. Just rolling. Inhale, open. Exhale, down. We go for 3. And for 2. And for 1. Take your hands behind you. Stay. Try to pull your hands apart. The chest opens. One more breath. And set it down. So you'll pause your music right there. Bring your palms together. Sitting tall. Feel the breath in your chest. Feel the steadiness in your seat. So if this is all the time you have, well done on your warm-up. If you're ready to go into your Kriya, then that will be the next video that you choose. Thank you for warming up well, and I will see you in the next.